All right, so my name is Cesar Espinosa, and I'm Executive Director of FIEL. Today we are here with the Menchaca family. Those you? Everybody good? We are here with the Menchaca family today because it's been how many days? Remind us.
Days, I'm not sure. It's going on 5 weeks.
Okay, so over a month. It's been over a month since this incident that could have ended in a extreme tragedy unfolded in front of their house. Yet here we are, still, without any arrest and with much unrest for this family. So there's several things that we're asking for. The number one thing that we're asking for is for there to be more transparency with this family, for them to know what exactly is going on in their case, and for them to be given an explanation as to why it's taken this long. The second thing, the most obvious thing, is that they do not feel safe at their house. So the remedy to that is for this person to be arrested as soon as possible and for them to face justice as quickly as possible. And the third thing that we continue to ask is we continue to ask for the community's help. If you know something about this case, if you know something about the alleged criminal, John Martin Dixon, that you come forward and that you help this family so that they can regain some sort of peace that they have lost. So es importante. Estamos aquí hoy con la familia Menchaca porque ya casi pasa un mes, o ya pasó más de un mes, desde que este evento, que podría haber terminado en una tragedia grande, pasó afuera de su casa. Ha habido muchas promesas de que se está buscando a la persona, pero no ha habido un arresto hasta ahorita. Ahora la familia está de regreso a su casa, pero ellos viven con el miedo, viven con la incertidumbre de saber que la persona que potencialmente podía haber matado a estos dos niños de esta familia todavía sigue ahí. So, obviamente necesitamos que la justicia actúe, necesitamos que la policía de Houston se apure, porque al final del día ellos pueden estar confortables en sus oficinas, pero los que están sufriendo son estas familias. So, necesitamos que la comunidad también, si alguien sabe de John Martin Dixon, que venga y que diga a la policía de Houston o que le diga a la familia qué es lo que está pasando. No queremos asumir ahorita, aunque nos está sonando como que él ya se dio a la fuga, pero al final del día, por eso es que queremos que HPD se ponga a trabajar inmediatamente para detener a esta persona peligrosa. We don't want to assume, but we fear that at this moment, this person may have fled. And this dangerous person must be held accountable. Because if he did this to this family, who knows what could happen next. So to tell us what she wants and to speak on behalf of her family, we have Miss Andrea. And she will tell us, she will give us an update, and she will also tell us how she feels upon returning to her home.
Hello, my name's Andrea Menchaca. I am the mother of Evan and Emmanuel Menchaca. We have since returned to our house as of 3 nights ago, not by wanting to, simply had to since the boys have gone back to school. I don't feel safe at all in my home. I don't want my kids to be left alone there. I make sure that I'm there, that someone else is there with them, an adult. I obviously have to see my neighbors, and they're going on about their life. They go to sleep at night peacefully when me and my family are not sleeping peacefully, being in our own home. I've been contacted, asked if I knew of the suspect's whereabouts, have I seen him, do I believe if he fled. I'm getting asked questions to help the case, but I have yet to been notified or told if they have attempted to try and go and locate this man in his home, which is next door. I asked that, HPD, because now to my understanding it's in HPD's hands to go and try to make the arrest. I ask that this gets done now. I am just getting told that hopefully soon, you know, we'll have him in custody, and that's all I'm being told. So yo soy la mamá de Emmanuel y de Emmanuel Menchaca. Hace 3-4 días regresamos a nuestra casa, que desafortunadamente no era porque yo quise, pero no tuve otra opción. Mis vecinos siguen allí, menos el que disparó a mis hijos, que podría haber quitarles la vida a ellos. Los oficiales me han hablado para preguntar si yo he visto el sospechoso, si yo sé si está en su casa, si se fue de la casa, en qué carro posiblemente estará. Yo no sé nada de eso. De que yo pienso que si él está en esa casa, no, obviamente no. Y no es justo que mis vecinos están como si nada, entrando, saliendo, haciendo sus vidas normales, y nosotros todavía estamos aquí esperando a que justicia se haga. Y yo ahorita les estoy pidiendo y rogando a la policía del departamento de Houston que vaya y que haga el intento. ¿Qué es lo que están esperando? Porque no han tocado las puertas de mis vecinos. Like, ¿qué es lo que están esperando? Que yo les hable y que les diga, ok, aquí está, ven por él. I don't think that that's fair. I feel like that's pretty much all I have to say.
You want to say something? Just tell us how you're doing. We don't have to answer any questions. I just want them to hear from you. Just tell us how you're feeling. How are you feeling now? Is it okay, or are you having yeah? Come on. So this is Emmanuel, the young man that we've been talking about. So how do you feel? How you just came back from a doctor's appointment, right?
Yes.
How has this changed your life?
This whole event really changed my life by changing everything I used to do. Before all this, I used to always be physical, going out, able to keep myself busy. Now I just wake up and can't really do much. Can't do all the stuff I used to do, and
You can't go to the park, you can't work.
can't go to the park, can't work. It's just everything just changed.
Where were you supposed to be this week? Where were you supposed to be today?
I would already been in San Antonio.
For school, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys were moving and where, last week or? 2
We
weeks
took
ago?
a trip just to go and
Yeah.
drop off some of his things, yes, last week.
So, okay, what else? You have anything else to say?
What
what do
do
you-
you want, Emmanuel? What do you want out of the police? What do you feel?
Do you feel like arresting him makes you feel safe?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Every time I have to go home, I just have to think, or I have to worry if he's there or not. And there'll be times at night where I just can't sleep, and every little thing I hear outside, I feel like I have to go check what it is. Normally I didn't have to do that, but now it's like I'm just like
And I'm
Scared.
constantly telling you, do not go outside, do not do this. Things that I shouldn't have to tell you at your own home. I have to tell you, do not go outside because you don't know what they're capable of doing.
So, stay right here. So, this is exactly what we're talking about. When people oftentimes hear about these cases, they just see the case and it disappears. But we want to make sure that the public knows and that everybody watching knows is that this has taken a toll on their family, an incredible toll on their family, where Emmanuel had to be at school this week, but now he has to postpone that dream because of what happened, where Emmanuel should be able to sleep in his own home without worrying about who's outside, where he shouldn't be afraid of, as an 18-year-old, right? You're 18, right? To be able to, and I don't know, Mom may disagree with me, but he shouldn't be afraid of being out at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. We can talk about that, the permissions later, but as an overage person, he shouldn't have to worry about coming home late from work. He should be able to be in his home. He should be able to feel safe. And the person that does this must face justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. And so we want to make sure that we send a clear message to everybody that we cannot make this family wait any longer. We are asking all authorities to make sure that they do their absolute best to apprehend John Martin Dixon immediately. So esto es una de las cosas que no queremos que pase. Mucha gente piensa, ok, ya pasó esto y todo regresa a la normalidad. No, esto ha tenido consecuencias muy graves para esta familia. Emmanuel tendría que estar ahorita en la universidad y ha tenido que posponer ese sueño por lo que le hicieron. Ahora, él dice que no puede dormir en las noches, tiene problemas. Esto, desgraciadamente, es una secuela de la paz que le robaron a esta familia. So necesitamos que las autoridades ya no les den las largas a esta familia, pero que inmediatamente, hoy, busquen y arresten a John Martin Dixon por lo que hizo, para que él pueda enfrentar a la justicia y por lo menos esta familia pueda tener un poquito más de paz. So, con esto vamos a tomar preguntas breves, especialmente para la mamá Andrea, y we'll take questions now specifically also for Miss Andrea, and then we will wrap up. Go for Andrea or I?
Yeah.
Or Emmanuel can stay up there. Yes.
Did the family get a lawyer for this case?
No, we have not. Which family?
Us?
No,
have y'all
ma'am.
gotten
No,
a lawyer for this
we do
case?
not have a lawyer. I've reached out to several attorneys, and they've told me that they really can't help me.
What about with HPD? What response have they given you? Anything?
Nothing other than they tell me that the plan is to try to get him in custody this week. But that's all I've been told, and obviously just questioned if I've seen him. If he's not there, where do I believe he's at? You know, things that I shouldn't have to know. And I think that this is getting brushed underneath the rug, and it's not fair. Just because my son's alive, it doesn't mean go about your day, you know? Like, no, it's still a long journey, a long road recovery for him. I've had to go back to work. Mentally, I'm not there.
What about bills?
Bills, like I just recently paid my mortgage, obviously, because the bank was calling me, but it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff to take in, and right now I'm literally just taking it day by day. But I feel like HPD dropped the ball from the very get-go as far as when it happened, because they didn't take anyone into custody. They didn't swab anyone for gunpowder residue, and it continues to be that way in my eyes.
Llamamos las cosas por el nombre. ¿Qué es el mensaje para el jefe de policía? El mensaje para el señor Díaz. ¿Qué es el mensaje? ¿Qué es el encargado de hacer?
El mensaje que yo quisiera mandarles, ¿qué es que están esperando para tratar de ir a arrestarlo? Porque nadie me está diciendo qué es que está delaying este proceso. Yo sé que tuviera que haber una investigación, se hizo. Yo sé que se tiene que presentar al abogado, district attorney, se hizo. So, ¿ahora qué?
¿Cómo se siente usted cuando le dicen, a ver qué va a pasar cuando lo agarremos? ¿Qué significa eso para usted cuando escucha que no hay una seguridad, que saben dónde está?
Me pongo furiosa, like furious. No es justo. It's not fair. It makes me upset. It makes me upset that I have to do legwork and try to find things to help bring justice to my family. And as I mentioned before in interviews, Emmanuel was the one who was shot, who was injured, who was in the hospital for 17 days. But my 12-year-old, let's not forget about him. He was shot at too, to the back. That to me, it's more than just shooting. You're shooting at kids, like Cesar said, with no motive, and you don't have the courage to step up to say what you did. If it was an accident, why aren't you saying anything?
¿Nos puede decir en español cómo, o sea, la recuperación de su hijo, todo lo que ha tenido que pasar hasta el día de hoy?
So, hoy tuvo que ir a hacerse unos estudios en la clínica, obviamente para asegurar que todo esté bien, si tendrían que posiblemente, ojalá Dios quiera que no, internarlo de nuevo, pero apenas acaba de cumplir 2 semanas que salió del hospital. Estuvo en cuidados intensivos por 17 días, pasó por varios procedimientos, cirugía, transfusiones de sangre. So, su recuperación hasta ahorita no ha terminado, todavía está recuperando. Él quiere ser como un niño normal de 18 años. Él intentó de ir al parque ayer con sus amigos y dijo mentalmente, es como mi mente me está diciendo, no puedes hacer esto. Dice que sentía algo como que si estuviera brincando adentro de su pecho porque tuvo daño al pulmón, al hígado y al diafragma. So, él todavía está recuperando y va a ser una larga recuperación. Los doctores nos dijeron que podría tardar entre 6 a 8 meses a que él regrese completamente anormal.
If
Pero-
this individual,
Pero al final del día, o sea, volvemos a lo mismo. Hasta que no tengamos justicia, esta familia más probable nunca va a ser normal. Y eso es la cosa, necesitamos que el público entienda, necesitamos continuar a apoyar a estas familias, a esta familia, para que ellos puedan tener, porque también otra cosa es que ellos están teniendo que tomar días de fuera del trabajo, están teniendo que tomar días después de escuela, todo eso para asegurar que lleguen.
if
Next
this
question.
individual sees this presser, what do you want to tell him?
Man up. Man up to your responsibilities. How can you go about your life when you knew my kids? You've seen us on a daily basis. So I would like to tell him and his family, how are y'all? Like nothing.
Ustedes quieren
And
pedirle al
we
jefe
want to,
Díaz.
yeah, and we want to make sure that if he's watching, he can also turn himself in
Were
right
there-
now.
were-
Si él está viendo, él también se puede entregar inmediatamente.
So, just 2 questions. Could you just, so what happened that night? The police came, they took somebody into custody and they released them?
No, they
took-
never took anyone into custody.
Okay, so, and then was there any, just sometimes neighbors, talk smack to each other?
No.
Or you park in the
Not-
driveway, your music's too loud?
No,
Nothing-
sir.
No history of
No.
anything like that?
Was
I
there?
mean, what type of gun was it? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
You don't know?
They're, as I mentioned, I'm not being told much.
What interaction did your family have with the that suspect that night? Was there any
Nothing.
exchange of words?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
He just disappeared, no one, because he wasn't taken into custody. It was just.
No,
they
he
were
shot at my kids and went back inside his home.
And then they were taken by ambulance to the hospital.
My oldest was, yes. And then I had to leave my 12-year-old and other minor child unattended to go and make sure that my son was going to
Another-
survive.
So
And
how
other
did
family members came and took care of the kids while she was gone.
So how did HPD zero in on him being the suspect that night? Or
Zero in
Like, how did they know that
how
he was
did
the
they come
suspect?
Oh.
about him? Okay, he's the suspect that shot your son.
through my 12-year-old that was outside.
He was a witness.
Yes, he was outside the whole time.
And he saw him.
Yes.
And they also, it's important to point out that HPD wanted to question a 12-year-old without his parents being present, and so that also made the family feel very uncomfortable, that he was being questioned as a 12-year-old without any adult supervision.
And the suspected shooter, it's John Barton Dixon or
Martin.
John Martin
Tin-
Dixon. Yes, and we have the spin, it's also important to point out that the charging instrument is available online. So the Harris County District Attorney's Office has filed charges of aggravated assault, felony aggravated assault. And we would like to see this taken into consideration, including the fact that he may have already fled when they post his bail and all that stuff.
Es algo
This
que,
is like a cut and dry case. You shoot at someone, you go and get them, you bring them to justice.
Yes.
So what?
But that's exactly not what's going on, and that's what we're frustrated and asking.
So the question we have for HPD and all agencies involved is, what's the holdup? What's the holdup?
And
I mean-
have you talked to the DA's office or the?
No, the DA has,
The DA has filed charges, so the
Yeah, but I
charges are
haven't
there,
talked to him.
but we haven't talked to them yet. But the DA, the charging instrument is available, so they have probable cause to go arrest them. He has a warrant out for his arrest. What worries us is that the investigators in HPD are calling Andrea and they're asking, have you seen him? Have you know? And then in communication with her, they say, well, as soon as we find him, we will let you know. What does that mean?
What reassurance?
What reassurance does that give us? Do they not know where he is? And that's what we need HPD to get on the ball and to find where he is and to make an arrest as soon as possible.
Why did it take so long for the DH to file charges?
We don't know. That's another question. I mean, oftentimes they have to investigate.
Yeah.
They have to get all the evidence together. But that is also a question that we have been asking for the last couple of weeks. Why did it take so long to file charges? The question that Andrea has from the beginning and that the family has expressed to me is, why was nobody taken into custody that night?
Mm-hmm.
Even though the children, which I call children, at 18 years old, I'm not trying to make you seem like a little kid. I'm just, at the end of the day, they're still teenagers. They didn't set off any chain reaction. Like they didn't go over there and talk to him. They didn't approach his house, nothing. They were burying a guinea pig next to Andrea's window, and he shot at them.
En una situación fatal, y esto es bien importante, en otro caso en Houston, donde un ciclista va en un trail manejando y ya alguien lo apuñala, a 24 horas la foto está en todas las noticias. En 48 horas saben quién es y ya está arrestado.
Sí.
Rápidamente. Usted esperó la investigación que empezó por HPD y que no la hicieron, parece, correctamente, porque no lo pusieron poner cargos ni lo pusieron agarrar ese día. Ahora está en la incertidumbre que no sabemos dónde está. Usted va a pedir al jefe de policía Díaz que mande seguridad a su casa.
Sí.
Y que ponga la foto del sospechoso en todas las noticias.
Sí.
¿Cómo lo puede decir a la comunidad y a los medios?
Sí, porque bastante gente me ha estado preguntando, denos el nombre, denos la foto. Yo no tengo acceso a fotos de él. Todo eso está en las manos de el jefe de policía, Díaz. Y sí, yo no me siento nada segura. Mis hijos no se sienten seguros en la casa y por algún, how do you say, layer?
Por alguna capa.
Como por una capa tantito de seguridad, estaría un poquito tranquila si estaba alguien afuera, una patrulla, alguien, mientras que mis hijos y yo estemos en esa casa, porque uno no sabe si está enseguida o no, o qué pueden hacer.
I want, yeah.
I was gonna
So
say-
can you say it in English real quick?
Yes, so what I would like to ask for the HPD, the Chief Diaz, is that they send out a patrol car, someone to be there. It's not gonna let me sleep at night like if nothing happened, right? But it may give me a tad bit of a layer of some type of peace, knowing that if something tries to escalate between my neighbors, I have someone out there that's watching over my kids and I.
It's a very charged environment right now, unfortunately, with, you know, politics, race relations, immigration relations, and things like that. Do we have any reason to believe that anything outside of just, you know, a random crime factored into it, anything with respect to race or with respect to anything else like that?
No.
At this time, there's no reason to believe that. Like I said, they really didn't have an interaction with this person prior to, I mean, they were neighbors, but that was it. But even Andrea says it beautifully herself. They're not the type of neighbors that you would invite to dinner. You would just see them every once in a while and wave and
How long did
just-
you guys live next to each other?
A little over 4 years.
4 years old.
But you never saw him shooting outside before this incident?
Me, no. I've always heard gunshots, you know, but I can't tell you, you know, that I physically saw him.
It's
There's
Houston.
not, yeah, an activity that he would do, like, it was just all of a sudden, just random.
Random.
With your sons.
And-
Andrea,
and-
real
and-
quick, just real quick, we've been following this story for quite a few weeks now, right? Has this taught you anything about the people who you're supposed to trust to protect you? Like, I know, can you elaborate? Because we've been talking about
Honestly-
how HPD hasn't moved anything, right?
Yeah, I was just talking to my 12-year-old son about that yesterday, and I just told him, unfortunately, you can't trust anyone, you know? You rely on the law, you know, to protect, but they're not giving me that reassurance as of right now.
And then you kind of briefly talked about you going back home with your family, you're uneasy. Can you kind of expand a little bit on that?
As I mentioned, you know, I am back home not by choice, but by need, due to me having to return to work, my kids starting school, my animals, you know, I have to continue doing what I need to do for my kids, but I don't think that it's fair, you know, that I have to be at my home not by choice and then not feel safe or okay being there.
And I want to reiterate that this is their home. The piece that was stolen from them is something that nobody's going to be able to give them back. So this is why we need an immediate arrest. And while that happens, we are demanding that HPD protect this family, because we don't know what this person's state of mind is. We don't know if he's going to freak out when he knows that people are looking for him. And so we are demanding that HPD provide security for this family. Al final del día también queremos reiterar a la comunidad que el que estemos hablando de su hogar, de que ella tiene miedo de regresar a su hogar, de que ellos tienen miedo de regresar de la escuela en su hogar, es algo que nadie, ni una arresto nada les va a regresar esa paz inmediatamente. Pero más importante es que ahorita no sabemos el estado mental de John Martin Dixon. No sabemos el estado mental, no sabemos si se va a espantar cuando sepa que la policía ya lo está buscando. Y es importante que lo mínimo que pueda hacer la policía de Houston es proveerle seguridad a esta familia en su hogar. The least we can do, the least HPD can do, right here, right now, at this very moment, is provide security for this family while they apprehend the suspect.
¿Usted sabía que se le pusieron cargos al sospechoso o cómo se enteró usted?
Sí, el investigador, el detective me dijo que los cargos ya estaban metidos por la sistema del District Attorney hace más de una semana.
And we have those documents here that we'll hand out before.
César, ¿crees que aunque no hay nada relacionado con inmigración en esto, crees que el uso de recursos y priorizar en otras cosas afecta a los investigadores a hacer una investigación pronta, rápida, en estar pensando todas cosas y no enfocarse en un trabajo? Porque el trabajo del HPD era en ese momento agarrar la pistola, guardar todo, tomar huellas, mirar al sospechoso, escuchar al niño y arrestarlo. Después lo que sigue. Ustedes han esperado todo y no han tenido nada. Para mí es como prioridad de presupuestos, prioridad de actividades, afectan a todos.
Creo que al final del día la policía pide mucho y a veces no da lo suficiente a cambio. Piden más dinero, piden esto y el otro, pero al final del día, especialmente con familias, vemos que cada vez es menos la transparencia, cada vez son las cosas fall through the cracks, o sea, se van, se escapan, y lo vemos en este caso especialmente. So, unfortunately, we've seen sometimes police departments ask for too much, but they deliver too little. And even though they're supposed to be on top of these cases and making sure that these families get the justice and the transparency they deserve, they often just kick the can down the road and we end up in these situations. So it is important, it is ultimately important for this family to get some sense of security back, and the only way this is going to happen is with the immediate arrest of John Martin Dixon and with his facing the criminal justice system at this moment. So if there's no other questions, then we'll go ahead and...
Can you spell his name? The suspect?
J-O-H-N. Martin is M-A-R-T-I-N. And his last name is Dixon, D-I-X-O-N. And he does have, unfortunately, he does have a pretty extensive criminal background, which we'll also share so you can ask the questions as to where these things have fallen through the cracks. Thank you.